Let's go.
Sunday edition of the SDT Media Network NFL podcast. We're talking the NFL tonight. Kind of doing a roundup of the games that we had today, and then I guess we could talk about the Thursday game too. Got to be thorough, got to cover all the games. Go ahead and turn down the tunes. It's really good to have you guys here. Inspired to do this by a couple of buddies who wanted to talk NFL and the games today. Week 3 NFL, September 21st, 2025. And we are good for the go. I think my sound is solid. If it isn't, someone in the live chat could please let me know. Appreciate that very much. What we're going to do with today's show is a couple of things. We're going to do a recap of the games that you guys want to discuss. We'll cover all the games briefly, but anything you guys want to cover in detail, we can kind of go through with a fine comb, talk about elements of that game, do a summary, talk about, the importance of the game, who's the winners, the losers, how it played out, whatever is important to you. I want to honor and take time to respect those that respect my platform, watch my content, appreciate what we do here on the channel as we talk NFL here today. So let's go ahead and kind of start by putting up the NFL scoreboard, and I can kind of go through some of these, and then I'm going to just go ahead and drop the link. So at any time anybody wants to chime in on a game, you guys want to discuss something in particular, more detail, you want to kind of give your thoughts and impressions on the game, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for you guys. I definitely want to take a moment to discuss Cleveland Browns versus Green Bay Packers. That one's got to be done. We got to cover that. That's huge because apparently the Browns are better than I think a lot of people give credit for. But mostly it's the defensive side of the ball. I can't say that it's the offense that's doing much. They're really not. In fact, I would say that the offense is a problem. The Cleveland Browns offense is a travesty. It is a cluster F. It's bad. It's dysfunctional. It's not showing any progress, improvements. There's no excellence on that side of the ball. I mean, I can honestly say that I think maybe the offensive line is tough. I want to give them credit. Joe Flacco is not the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's clearly well beyond his prime and not capable of lifting up a team. He's just not at that point of his career. I think Judkins showed a couple of nice things. That sort of stuff I think is pretty obvious, and we could discuss it. But golly, I mean, you want to talk about an offense that lacks dynamics. Ironically, the coach is an offensive-minded coach, so it's just crazy to think like that's where we are with the Browns. But the lack of deep throws, the lack of being able to take the lid off the defense, threaten down the field, it's so obvious. Judkins was kind of a bright spot today, but really the lone offensive player I think we could talk about. But a tough loss for the Packers, who were seemingly looking to move up the ranks as one of the best teams in the league, for sure. But not just that game. We got a lot to discuss. A lot of the 4:00 games just ended, so we've got those games to discuss. There's still a game tonight that is kind of big, so we got to kind of wait and see how that plays out. But most of the games are in the books. We got the Monday night game tomorrow. That one's good. Lions versus Ravens. Congratulations to Ben Johnson. First win as Bears head coach. They got him a victory. Caleb Williams, as Brucey would like to call him. Caleb Williams gets the dub. Good for him, man. He bounces back. There he is, kind of celebrating in the locker room. Painted fingernails and all. The week of the blocked field goal, I think, is a good way to characterize this week. The week of the blocked field goal, absolutely. There were several of those today, and we'll discuss it. Tampa Bay found a way to win. Todd Bowles doing good things in Tampa Bay with quarterback Baker Mayfield, who I wish was still a Cleveland Brown. So yeah, there's a ton of storylines, narratives, things to discuss in the NFL. Baker, touchdown maker, one of those great stories. Cowboys doing Cowboys things. Kevin Stefanski with the win. Browns snap a 8-game losing streak. Let's quickly go over the Dolphins and the Bills. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This was the Thursday night game. I want to give the Dolphins credit. They fought. They were in that game. It was close. They were going score for score with the Bills. The Dolphins defense did enough to keep them in the game, but I just think the Bills, they're just a better team than the Dolphins. And I think the difference maker really is it's really the quarterback. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between the Dolphins and the Bills. It's Josh Allen versus Tua, and I don't think Tua is a very good quarterback. I think he's a very average quarterback with below average size, which is a bad combination in the NFL. I'm not really going to change my thoughts and impressions on Tua anytime soon. I just don't see it. This game was an absolute just travesty in NFL competition. What in the actual hell happened here? The Carolina Panthers beat the brakes off of the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons coming off a really nice win last week, game-winning field goal, final drive, win the game. And then they come out with 0 points. We're talking about an NFL team that was not able to score. The Panthers dropped 30 on them, and the Panthers aren't even a great team. Like, I don't even know what to really say here. Like Bryce Young threw for 121 yards. I mean, if you would have told me Bryce Young would throw for 121 yards and then they'd win this game 30-0, I mean, I'd tell you you're crazy. Hubbard ran the ball decent, 17 attempts, 73 yards. I mean, I don't really know what to say. Michael Penix Jr., dude, like, what the hell? What is this about? 2 interceptions, turnover machine. Did he have a fumble maybe? I'm not sure. I have to look at the rest of the box score, but I mean, Bryce Young, I saw him scramble for a touchdown. I see lots of field goals. I see touchdowns on defense, right? So pick sixes. I don't know. Just a bad game. I think Atlanta what did they generate? 300 yards of offense. I mean, the Panthers only generated 220 yards of offense, and they still blew them out, right? Because of those defensive touchdowns. I don't even know. I mean, I don't think either offense was inspiring. Um, just a bad game. Just a really bad game. Uh, 2 picks, a fumble lost, so 3 turnovers for the Falcons. Were there any touchdowns on the special teams? Okay, I don't think so. I don't know. Not one that I'm going to go back and want to be excited about. Yeah, so terrible loss there for the Falcons as they lost to the Panthers. Cleveland. Yeah, I definitely want to discuss this one. The Packers were heavy favorites coming into this game, even though the Browns were hosting. Now, this one, as I said in my live reaction video, kind of like post game, the defense for the Browns is really good. All 3 levels played excellent. They've been playing well all season long. They've got to be tired at the end of games because the Cleveland offense is just literally that bad. They can't move the ball. The Cleveland Browns offense does not have dynamics. They don't have the ability to blow the lid off of a defense, threaten down the field. I don't think they have the receiving core to really threaten a team's secondary. I don't know what David Njoku is doing these days, right? As an offensive weapon, I just don't know. You know what I mean? Goon, I see you just made your way in, man. Did you want to
Yo,
commentary on the game? Talk to me, bro.
oh my gosh, bro. I was geeking. I screamed my throat out when they were playing, bro. Like,
Okay, so give me your thoughts as they entered the fourth quarter down 10-0.
I mean, I thought we were gonna lose, but I mean, I don't think it's even close at this point. I think the Browns have the best defense in the NFL. They have a top 10 safety, they have a top 3 corner, they have the best defensive player in the league. The D tackles today were amazing, holding Josh Jacobs to 30 rushing yards. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been excellent all year. I
And
mean, in the
Jordan
first
Love's
3
been
weeks, he's been
excellent.
very good. Yeah,
Like Josh Jacobs he had like the third longest touchdown streak per game ever. I think he was tied with like LaDainian Tomlinson, and he didn't score at all today. It was crazy how well the defense played
what
against
did
the
Cleveland do against
offense.
Derrick Henry last week
Like it, and then Chase Brown the week before. Like those
and
are
Chase
3
Brown the
really
week
good
before?
backs.
Right.
You know, and I think the offense doesn't look good, but at this moment, Quinshaw Judkins looks like the best rookie back in the NFL. I don't think there's a back that runs as good as him. I don't think there's a back that's as aggressive as him. I
He
mean,
ran for 90 some yards today,
he had a
18 carries,
touchdown. Yep, he
and a
had.
touch, right?
It was crazy. Like I don't think there's a
Okay,
back
so
in this rookie
so
class
I've
even
been
close
I've
to
been
him.
really down on the Browns because of what happened with Nick Chubb, right?
Yeah,
But I can get with this because I think they have themselves a nice player in Judkins. I think he's a nice answer to fill in the shoes that Nick Chubb left behind
I
because he
think they
was
have a
above
nice
their
duo. I
best.
think they need to implement Sampson a little bit more. But I
So you're
think
moving
today,
on from Ford, huh?
yeah, I'm done with Ford. Ford is awful. Ford, they don't need Ford at all.
He's not very elusive.
No, he's not good.
He
He was good
can
about
tackle.
2 or 3 years ago, and now and I it just it's he's unusable at this point. You
Yeah,
know,
at best a third down back that can maybe block for you, right?
yeah. I mean, if that, but I
If
mean,
that.
I feel like once they establish their run game, which they're doing, and get their identity in the pass game, whether that's with a rookie quarterback or with Joe Flacco, I think there is a timeline where the Browns sneak in a wild card spot or something like that. You know,
I'm not ready to go that far. I don't think you can consistently win in the NFL with as paltry and weak and non-dynamic an offense as we have. Like when
but
I
when
look
you
at the
have
Browns, like I don't see any deep threats. I don't see dynamics. I don't see layers to their offense.
so
You're not going to beat teams consistently in the NFL like that.
I think Isaiah Bond is a good deep threat. Our quarterback is just garbage.
Okay, are you going to speculate that they can somehow weave him into the game plans and actually use him?
I really hope so because he's a first round talent. You know, I mean, the only reason he wasn't picked in the first round was because of some off the field stuff, which got addressed. You know,
Yeah.
so I feel like once you find your quarterback, once you get that down, I mean, I think the Brown there's a reality here where Joe Flacco goes down, one of the rookies comes in, and the offense looks better. Because I think right now Flacco doesn't look anything like the guy we saw 2 years ago.
2 years ago, he was 38 years old.
Yeah, but I'm exactly, and he was throwing the ball a lot better than he is now.
The
So
so this team, we've established this. This team, its identity is defensive.
yeah,
I mean, all three levels. Which, by the way, the biggest leap are the linebackers this year. I don't know if
Carson Schweschinger, Carson this
I think the linebackers have really stepped up. I think your defensive line is exactly what you expected, and both of those levels contribute to how successful the corners could be because we know we have talent in the secondary,
mhm.
but when you have a good rush, it makes the secondary's job a lot easier.
I mean, I think this rookie class is the best in the draft. I don't think there's a team that's done better because Harold Fannin Jr. He looks like
Nice player,
he's
nice
amazing.
player, nice
We
player.
have
Yeah.
Quinshad Judkins, who we already know. Dylan Sampson, an amazing receiving back. Isaiah Bond, once they implement him more in the offense, he will be great. You know, Mason Graham, who's just been a run stuffer the entire year. I think this rookie class is so big on building what the Browns have to do for the future. The only position they truly need is a true receiver one. If because Judy does not look like that guy right now. He doesn't look like how he did last year.
Yeah, and I think that's because of a lack of dynamics and another
Yep.
threat alongside him, maybe on the other side of the field. These
Mhm.
guys
And
are
I
really locking in. They're putting a
yeah,
lot of attention on him.
I think the problem with Judy is just the quarterback play right now
So
because
so
it's
here's where I'm
awful.
going with this, right? And I'm with you there. I'm not going to push back. I think all those are valid. The defense for the Cleveland Browns is going to carry them at least in the foreseeable future. There's no version of us waking up one morning and all of a sudden the Browns offense is really good. It's not how that works, right? They can improve over time and you also have to consider the health of the offensive line. Those are valid concerns. So
Well,
I
I
mean, those are
mean,
factors.
you hear anything about Micah Parsons? Did he even have a tackle? He might have had two.
Well, this okay, so if we're going to talk about Micah, that's the story of his career. It's big game, no game. Like we've seen him
Mhm.
alternate those kind of games.
But this
So
was a
props
prime
to the
time for Micah Parsons against our second string tackles to show out, and nothing happened. So I feel like the offensive line, Joel Batonio is retiring after this year. We knew that. But I mean, it comes to the point where we need to figure out the offensive because the right tackle spot with Jack Conklin is just not sustainable. He misses so much time. So I feel like once they get the quarterback position down and once the offensive line improves just a little bit more, I feel like there's gonna be some serious conversations about what this team needs to do to make it to that next level, just past the first or second round.
So as good as the Browns defense is, they're going to basically have to carry this team to any type of victory. They're going to be the reason why the Browns are able to stay in games, and they're going to have to win games like this where they win the field possession game, and then they
Mhm.
just give their kicker a chance at the end. That's what this
No
boils
doubt.
down to.
No
There
doubt.
were there were interceptions, there were turnovers, there was field possession that got them on the right side, and then they were able to get a touchdown finally. But dude, that's tough. And you know what? I'll speak to kind of you mentioned Myles Garrett. You said something. You said he's the best defensive player in football. I actually want to take it one step further. You're on Twitter all the time. You read all types of delusional fans and their takes, right?
Mhm.
I feel very confident that the best player in the NFL is actually Myles Garrett. I don't think it's a conversation many people want to have because he's not an offensive player, because he doesn't play quarterback. They don't want to talk about that. But there was a time where Aaron Donald was the most dominant player in the NFL, very respected by all of his contemporaries, opposing coaches, coordinators. They feared this guy every time he came on the field, and he was a complete disruption. He ruined game plans for all teams. Myles
Mhm.
Garrett has that kind of impact. So it's a very uncomfortable conversation, but he probably is the best player in the NFL. But the Browns are just the Browns. And it's going to be really hard for him to get serious considerations that like this because he's a defensive player and he plays for the Browns. If he was, playing for a team that was undefeated, if he was playing for a big market team, it would be a real conversation. People would be entertaining it. but they won't because of those situations. But he is the best player in the NFL, and it's pretty obvious to me.
No doubt. No doubt. I 100% agree with that. 10 years ago, TJ Watt was, or JJ Watt was up for MVP considerations. Like,
Because JJ
it's
Watt's a great defensive player. He
JJ
really is
Watt
a
is one of the
fantastic
greatest of all
player.
time. And I think JJ Watt and Myles Garrett should be considered in the same conversation.
Yeah, what Myles Garrett is doing every Sunday, he's rearranging teams' offensive schemes.
I mean, do you
And
see
he's
what they
not
do? They have the
one-dimensional.
tackle, the tight end, and the running back on him. He'll still get the sack. It
Micah
is
Parsons,
ridiculous.
Micah Parsons is a pretty amazing and special rusher. Myles Garrett can also stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
See, and he can make himself available to cover his assignment. Like he's really not flawed, and he is extremely special at what they pay him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got an incredible motor. Like this guy on a play-to-play basis, just the sheer tenacity and force that he has, imposing his will in the game, he makes life hell for quarterbacks. That's not fun to play against Myles Garrett.
Oh.
And you're
Do you
looking at
remember-
like look at the Browns last week, right? Anomaly. The game busted wide open, and then all hell broke loose. But like for a while, the Ravens, which have one of the most dynamic offenses in the league, they were having trouble scoring. And then the
The only reason they were scoring was because of costly turnovers. We had a pick six and then two interceptions.
And then the Bengals in week 1, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, where were they?
Locked
5
down.
receptions for 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And so credit to the defense for getting pressure on the quarterback, who everybody tells me Joe Burrow is like the greatest thing ever. Well, apparently the Browns defense own him because he couldn't do anything. Outside of a Chase Brown TD, what did the Bengals accomplish against the Browns defense?
A couple field goals.
And that was all after the first quarter. It was literally their first drive.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be 2-1, just like Steve in the chat is saying. Steve, I threw the link in there if you want to come on and talk any of the NFL games. We're doing a call-in show. So you're more
a lot of these problems we're talking about would be fixed if we kept that guy that's in Tampa Bay right now.
Baker, touchdown maker. Do you want to talk about his game?
Dude, 3 games in a row they've come back and won because of him. It's ridiculous.
All right, so the game went down to the wire in Tampa Bay. Baker gets the ball back with like a minute 50, marches the team down the field.
Sneed, this has happened 3 times this year.
Oh, yeah.
They played 3 games.
And he's come back every single time.
There needs to be serious conversations about Baker Mayfield being in the MVP conversation.
I mean, it's valid, bro.
Like,
it's valid because he's carrying his team to victories.
Like, literally, I genuinely think Baker Mayfield should be considered in the MVP.
Okay, so Josh Allen, Baker
Lamar
Mayfield,
Jackson, Baker Mayfield.
Jalen Hurts?
No, I hate him. He is not a good NFL quarterback. Like, have you watched Jalen Hurts play football?
I have.
And it's excruciating to watch.
I like Jalen Hurts, bro. Why are you doing that?
Bro, he doesn't throw the football. Dude, it's today he had an okay game, but the Rams are an inferior opponent. They shouldn't have been in the game like that against the Rams. The Rams have a great offense, but the Rams defense, it's okay, but like, man, Emmanuel Forbes is a starting cornerback on the Rams. And you're telling me Jalen Hurts, it took him a little bit to start throwing the football? Like, come on. In the last 2 games, he hasn't thrown the football. The Eagles are winning games, but they are playing down to their opponents, which they did not do last year.
All right. So do you not think that the Eagles are a top 5 team in the NFL?
I think the Eagles are a top 5 team in the NFL, but I feel like the Eagles aren't playing up to what they should be.
Okay, so they're not who they were last year.
No. I mean, and what's going on with Saquon right now? He's averaging 3.5 yards per carry. Like, what's going on here?
Maybe it's a slow start, man. They're 3-0.
They better hope. They better
3-0.
hope, because this team looks very beatable, is what I'm saying.
Keeping it in the AFC North, the Steelers beat the Patriots 21-14. With respect to that game, Aaron Rodgers takes the Steelers to a 2-1 record. So, the Steelers are definitely going to feel good about that. He's playing pretty well. I mean, I don't really have too much of a problem. The numbers passing aren't great, but he did throw for 2 TDs. That's 2 wins out of the first 3 weeks of the year. It's going to be big when they start playing their divisional foes, right? So the games against the Ravens, the games against the Browns. As long as Joe Burrow's injured, I can't say that the Bengals are a threat to anybody in the division.
I
So
mean, the
as of right
Bengals lost
now,
by 50 today.
yeah,
So
as of right now, I would say that missing the remainder of the regular season, the Bengals are probably going to finish dead last in the AFC North. Uh,
possibly.
yeah,
Can't count the Browns. Can't count out the Browns.
well, I'm gonna think that the Browns' offense could improve. I think there's a chance of that. That's more likely than the Bengals,
Yeah.
finishing third in the AFC
I've heard
North.
rumors about the Bengals trading for Jameis.
Really, from the Giants,
Yeah.
just to
That
get
would be a
somebody
fun
to throw them
offense to
the ball.
watch.
It would. It
That would be
would.
a very fun offense.
I mean, I think there was a point where Jameis was throwing the ball to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin
Yep.
and Cameron Brate, like from the tight end spot. So like when he
30
has
30
weapons,
season.
he can throw TDs.
30-30 season. That's the year it was.
Yeah, the
I mean,
um the other
30
the other
touchdowns,
game I
30
wanted
picks.
to the other game I wanted to mention, Broncos versus Chargers. I can't believe it, but Justin Herbert looks like a real NFL quarterback.
Justin. So, fun fact, I know the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. I
Really?
play football with his son, both of his sons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dude, they're saying like it's just Quentin Johnston, the steps he's been taking have been crazy, and Justin Herbert like is just insanely good. He's a top 5 quarterback right now, probably too. I mean,
I don't know what Jim Harbaugh did, but he got the battery in Justin Herbert's back, and this guy's got game-winning drives. He's got 300-yard games. He's got 3-4 TD games. I mean, he's doing everything right, and he's not turning over the ball.
exactly. And that was a big
I don't
problem
I
with how it
don't
was
think
last year.
Yeah, I don't think he has any turnovers this year.
Let me
So
see.
in the first 3 weeks of the season, Justin Herbert looks all pro. He's probably in that same MVP conversation we were talking about
Yeah, no
Baker
doubt.
Mayfield and
He had his
and those
first
guys.
interception today.
Oh, did he throw a pick?
First one today.
Okay. I wonder if it was a tip ball because he's been really sharp this year.
Yeah, I mean,
And shout out to what's his name, Keenan Allen for coming into the Chargers and making a difference. He had
Punk.
the game-winning TD, yeah, or a game-tying TD. He had the game-tying TD, and then the Chargers got the ball back and hit the field goal. And Bo Nix, I mean, come on, bro, tighten things up in that fourth quarter.
I don't know what's up with Bo Nix, to be honest. Bo Nix does not look like how he looked last year. He had a nice pass to Cortland Sutton. That was about it. I mean,
The
I don't.
Saints versus the Seahawks opened up 21-0, so I wasn't going to watch that game. Saints are awful.
Panthers shocked today. Shut out Atlanta.
Yeah, what the hell, 30-0, bro.
Dude,
And actually,
Bryce Young didn't even throw a touchdown.
bro, Bryce Young he looks like if you ran into him, he might fall like 30 feet down. Like he may not wake up till next week.
Young ran for a touchdown, and that was about it. And then they
Yeah,
had a
they
pick
have
six and about 10 field goals.
yeah, he has I'm so worried about him making it week to week. I'm literally concerned about his health. I don't think he's built for the league. Caleb Williams bounces back. Bears beat the Cowboys 31-14. That's a nice win for the Bears. Ben Johnson gets his first win as an NFL coach for the Bears. 49ers.
Someone I'll be worried about.
What's that?
Michael Penix Jr. is who I'll be worried about.
He doesn't look good. And
2 picks against Carolina. Come on.
there's another rookie quarterback who's not doing too hot. Or no, Michael Penix Jr. is a sophomore, right?
Yep.
That's the
CJ
second
Stroud
year.
is not doing too hot either.
Stroud's he's off to a rough start. And the kid for the Titans, man, the guy from the Hurricanes.
Cam Ward. Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a rough start of it.
The Titans just don't have a competitive roster.
So just not have enough talent, it's hard to compete.
I mean, I've Tony Pollard is your running back 1, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think Cam Ward is just trying to force it a little bit, but he's sacked 4 times a game, so that doesn't really help him either. But
I mean, so this is the kind of stuff that gets these rookie quarterbacks the happy feet, throwing picks and fumbles and strips and doing too much, and
Yep.
yeah, it ends up snowballing. Let's see, any other games we got to mention? Bengals Vikings, that was a blowout. Vikings blew the doors off of the Bengals. That's going to continue to happen. Jags are somehow 2-1. I don't know how, but they are. Big shout out to
Trevor
the Jags.
Lawrence does not look like an NFL quarterback.
Who?
Trevor Lawrence. He is atrocious. He is hard to watch.
Yo, I'm not a big fan myself. I don't like Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he was going to translate to the NFL because sometimes these college quarterbacks, they're good at college, right? Because it's this, it's just a different level of competition. But if you don't have the pro tools and the
Mhm.
pro skills when you go into the league, you're going to struggle to find traction. So, that's
Mhm.
what I think it's with him. And honestly, I think he peaked in college. The
No
best
doubt.
version of him was a college quarterback.
No doubt.
Just like you can't say the same thing about all these all pro quarterbacks. They're all getting better.
Mhm. Except for
I would
Jalen
say
Hurts.
that, except who?
Jalen Hurts.
You don't think Jalen Hurts is a better
I think
quarterback
Jalen
today?
Hurts. No, I don't know. I don't know about Jalen Hurts. I feel like I don't know. Jalen Hurts is a weird situation with me. I don't feel like Jalen Hurts is getting better. I feel like he came in and he's about stayed the same. Where he's been, his team around him has just gotten better.
Okay, so that there's probably some truth to that. But every time they ask him to throw, he makes throws. Like when have you said this guy can't make the throw?
Against the Chiefs.
He made the throws against the Chiefs.
Bro, he passed for under 100 yards.
But when they asked him to throw, he did. If the team has you throwing the ball 17 times, how would you expect 300 yards?
Mhm.
I think it's just so if you have a winning formula in which you're going to possess the ball, you're going to run the ball, and you're going to keep things simple and you're going to try to be dynamic in different ways, but you don't have a guy who necessarily needs to throw for 300, so why force the issue?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to me, he's a winner. I think he can go to other teams and make them playoff teams too.
Mhm.
I don't think he's Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's Josh Allen. I don't think he's Lamar. But I still think he's a tier 1 quarterback. He's just at the bottom of the tier 1 in terms
Okay.
of abilities.
Yeah, I understand that. I feel that.
Um, if you want to put him in tier 2, I get it, but your tier 1 better be elite. There
Hmm.
better only be a few guys there.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that like, and another thing actually, like Baker, there's people that want to put Baker in a tier 3. I think he's clearly a tier 2.
Baker?
He's not a tier 1, but he's clearly a tier 2
Definitely.
because he keeps making throws, he keeps leading his team to victories, and he makes great throws. And I get it, he has talent. He's got a good offensive line, and he's got weapons, really good receivers. But when you have it and you produce, like, how is that a problem? Why is that an
Right.
issue?
Yep.
I mean, look at all the other teams that have great quarterbacks. Like Baker's better than Caleb Williams.
Hmm.
Baker's better than what? Are there 10 guys better than Baker Mayfield?
No.
Are there 8 guys better than Baker Mayfield?
No.
6.
Maybe.
See what I mean? Like you might say Justin Herbert looks like he might be.
I would put them in the same tier.
You might say Justin Herbert might be better. You might say Jalen Hurts might be better. Matt Stafford's better. And then you got your Joe Burrows, Lamar Jacksons, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Like, is Brock Purdy better than Baker?
No way.
See, I'm with you.
There is no way.
I'm with you on that. I think Baker's better.
Brock Purdy's had a lot of success, but I don't think he's better.
They won a game today with what was it, Mac Jones?
Yeah, they played the Cardinals though. Kyler Murray is not.
Yo. Oh, how about this? How about Jaden Daniels misses the game to injury and the Commanders win against the Raiders?
Man, the Raiders are a shit show, I will say. I
So
don't
you're
know.
not a Geno Smith guy?
I'm not a Geno Smith didn't even play. Geno Smith had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's just I don't
Yeah, but
understand
that
what could
could have
be.
been junk time, 41-24.
It looks like I mean, 61-yard touchdown.
Yo, the Commanders got talent, bro. They have nice players. They have a good defense.
They're just aging.
I think a Joe Burrow conversation is worthy. I think it's something that probably should be discussed. I mean, he's been in the league for 6 years. This guy's been legitimately injured, missing bulk time for 3 seasons. And he continues to garner this, QB1 elite quarterback tier because he beat Patrick Mahomes 4 years ago in the AFC. Was it 4 years, 3 years? Like how long,
2022.
yeah, how long you going to hang your head on that, bro?
I don't know.
The injuries are surpassing his talent. He's talking about Burrow. If you're not playing, I can't continue to give him tier 1 QB status. I agree. I mean, okay, so he had great numbers last year after the first month. But they were winless the first month. Did they lose the first 4 or the first 6?
I don't know.
They lost a ton of games to open the year last year.
Did they
How
beat the
was
Brown? I think they beat the Browns.
that's no accomplishment, bro.
Yeah, they beat the Browns. That was it.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this Joe Burrow talk. I think that's a bunch of flowing hair. He looks the
I
part.
think Joe Burrow's an elite quarterback, but I think Joe Burrow's soft. I don't think he's soft. I just think he's
Injury
so
prone.
injury prone that you can't keep putting in these conversations. Like
Okay,
he's
so
played one
Steve's
full
saying they
season.
may have opened up 1-5 last year. Oh, by the way, the Chiefs game is about to start. They're playing against the Giants,
Yep.
I think in KC. So that game's about to start. So I don't know who. No, it looks like it's in New York, actually. There's a lot of Giants fans there, so it better be in New York. If that's in KC, that's crazy.
I'm trading Saquon Barkley for Malik Neighbors in my fantasy.
Who's your running back depth?
I don't have running back depth.
But
No,
you're
I have.
trading away
Sorry,
Saquon
I have
Barkley?
running back depth. I have Javonte Williams, I have Josh Jacobs, and I have hang on, let pull up. Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, and then what's his name? J.K. Dobbins. But
Like,
my
are
receiver,
y'all getting full usage? Like, are you PPR?
yeah,
Okay.
Saquon. I don't know, because my starting receivers are T Higgins and JMO. So T
So
Higgins,
when JMO got you 2 receptions for 107 yards and a TD, were you happy?
bro, I knew that was gonna happen, bro. In my dorm room, I got a JMO flag. Like, come on, that's my goat.
Yo, by the way, when I have conversations with homies about like, top receivers in the game, I always bring up JMO, bro, and people get pissed.
They get pissed.
Yeah,
Why?
they get pissed, bro. I don't like. There's something to be said
Delusional.
about. Well, there's something to be said about consistency. He doesn't really have that.
That's not his
He's he's
problem.
he's a
That's not his
game
fault,
breaker type player. Like he's a deep threat. He's got wheels.
bro. He had
He gets
9
open.
touchdowns and 1,000 yards on 59 receptions. That's
It's crazy.
ridiculous.
I'd be curious to see what Steve says about Jamison Williams. I because Steve's kind of a level-headed guy, so he might be the right person to ask.
I
I'm a big
think
JMO fan. I like the game breakers. Okay, do you remember Deshaun Jackson?
yes,
That's my kind of player, bro. I like
yes,
guys that can rip the lid
yes. The
off the
punt
defense.
return,
Yeah.
bro. No, if you put Jamison Williams on the Packers as their one, he is getting 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns.
He's gonna have a touchdown. Some games he'll have 2.
Like that's the thing. If he could be a one on like multiple good teams, like the Packers, definitely he could be a one.
Bro, something is wrong with the Giants. Why are they starting Russell Wilson? Sierra's husband does not get to start in an NFL team.
Mr. Unlimited.
He's literally garbage. He sucks, bro.
So during the game last week, I was with my buddy, and I was like, it'd be so vintage if Russ threw a pick right now, and he did to seal the game.
What I was saying, Steve, is what do you think of Jamison Williams as a player? Because I'm big on him. I think he's a game-breaking player. Some people don't like the way he's kind of like boom or bust, and he's kind of inconsistent. I think he's a great complementary piece to a possession type receiver on the other side of the field. Like when you look at Amon-Ra, I think Jamison Williams is a great way to pair that. Amon-Ra, the stick mover, Amon-Ra, the route runner, Jamison Williams, the deep threat, can rip the lid off of a
The
defense.
thing is, J-Mo can do all the stuff too. They just don't have him do it.
Yeah, they continue to just use him as the deep threat, kind of like what they used to do with D-Hop and and Fuller back in those Texans days for Deshaun Watson. You know, if you remember
Mhm.
those things, and they were using, other players as possession guys. Steve says he's a game changer. It's hard to call him a wide receiver one, but he's never had the chance to be a true one. I mean, he's still young too, man.
Dude, I think you could put him on multiple good teams and he'd be a one. Like
Okay,
you
on the
put him
Browns, is he the one?
on the Browns, he would be the one. On the Niners, he would be the one.
On
On the
the
Packers,
Ravens?
he'd be the one. On the Ravens, he'd be the one too. Yeah,
Okay, so he'd be what? Zay Flowers would be the two
yeah, dude. On the Broncos, he'd be the one. On the
to
Saints, he'd be the
Portland
one.
Suns. Like half
Dude,
the NFL teams, he's a number one.
on the Jags, he'd be the one. Like Steelers, he'd probably be the. You could argue DK, but I think he'd be the one. He'd be the one on the Patriots. He'd be the one on the Colts, the one on
He'd
the
be the
Raiders, the one on the
Bears.
Commanders. Like, dude, he can do it all.
If he was in Baltimore, he'd be a monster. Yeah,
Yes,
receiving from Lamar. Absolutely.
like that's that. Then you're genuinely having a conversation. Like, damn, this guy might be the best deep threat ever if he's on a team like that. And the Lions are a great team too. But if he's the primary guy getting 10, 12 targets a game, then we're talking like scary numbers because no one can guard him one on one. There's not a single DB in the league that can keep up with his speed.
All right, so can we agree that the Bengals are kind of out of it? Like, I know their record's 2-1, but like that's over for them.
They're done.
Okay, the
They're done.
Packers, you expect them to bounce back from the Cleveland loss?
Yeah, I mean, we have the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
So,
So if you turn over the ball, then you could lose that game.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm with you there. The Browns, I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to hope that the offense can improve over the next several games, and that defense
I
can
think
be
we play the
rewarded for
Steelers the next game, and that'll be a nice test.
Is it home or away?
I think it's away.
Okay, so a game in Pittsburgh makes it difficult, challenging, and hard to win.
But
The
we
Steelers
are
defense
playing
is going to
we're
show
playing
up.
against Aaron Rodgers, and
Bro, he's
they
having a
don't.
good year.
Yeah, but they don't have a offensive line capable of handling Myles Garrett. We can handle T.J. Watt. They can't handle Myles Garrett.
Aaron Rodgers knows how to get rid of the ball, and he's not really a turnover-prone quarterback.
Yeah, but
so
think about how good this pass rush is. Our defensive tackles had 4 sacks today. Our tackles.
yeah, because your line as a whole is doing a great job. They're gonna have to concede sacks at some point.
They're not. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers is going to get sacked at least 5 times.
Okay, so
Roderick Jones ain't holding back Myles Garrett.
Steve is a huge Steelers fan, and I'm sure he'd probably offer some insight on this. I haven't watched the Steelers enough this year to make any type of claims. Like, I understand what they do and how they win, but so far I've seen them win games. Just, I mean, I wouldn't say like if you look at the quality of their wins, anything special. I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, their offense looked good against the Jets. But that's the Jets. Today
Yeah, the
looked a
Jets
little slow. But the
Jets have
best.
given up 30 points in consecutive weeks.
Yeah, and then the Patriots are missing their best player probably, and Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, I think we'll be in that
I'm also a
game.
hater, so I'm biased.
Yeah, but we could beat them.
Yeah, we can beat
The
them.
Browns can win that game.
It's just hard to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh.
Right. All right, so we'll see what happens there. The Texans look awful.
They look
CJ
miserable.
Stroud is still slumping. That's really bad and disappointing. The Jags, I mean, it's nice that they're 2-1, but even within their division, the Colts are 3-0 and look much better. So
The Colts look scary.
this is
The
crazy.
Colts look.
They
Daniel
moved on,
Jones, baby.
bro. They moved on from Anthony Richardson, and they bring in Daniel Jones, and now all of a sudden, like they've had 5 or 6 quarters this year where they've scored multiple touchdowns.
Yeah,
What the hell?
dude, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, Daniel Jones looks good. Jonathan Taylor's still a G. He's still fantastic. One of the best running
Man,
backs
I
in the
played him in fantasy this week.
Did he have
Not
3
fun.
TDs today or something?
32 points.
Yeah. He's gonna get the goal line touches. He's gonna get the carries. Michael Pittman was really good. Cam Ward's just man. and he's just a rookie, and the team doesn't have a lot of talent, so they're 0-3 in Tennessee. I think the Eagles are going to be fine. They continue to get better.
They need to give Saquon more opportunities.
I think they'll figure things out. They beat the Rams. The Rams are a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's valid to say like their defense is nothing special, but offensively they have weapons, right? So they're definitely a threat to some teams. Commanders found a way to win. They gave Jaden Daniels the game off, right? So he'll probably have another week of rest. They probably won't start him next game just to be on the safe side. He is young, so I mean, obviously he could bounce back pretty quick. Buccaneers continue to win. The Jets are 0-3. That's tough. They've been in some close games. They almost beat the Steelers. They almost beat the Bucks today. They could be 2-1, if things go in their favor. Steelers beat the Patriots. Steelers moved to 2-1. Patriots 1-2. That division, the AFC East, belongs to the Bills, and that's pretty much the end of it. The Chargers get another win. Justin Herbert looks good. The Broncos, Bo Nix moved to 1-2. They've got some things they got to figure out. Seahawks beat the Saints. The Saints are garbage. They'll have the first pick in the NFL draft next year. Sam Darnold threw for 2 TDs on 218 yards. I don't know, that Rattler kid for the Saints. I mean, it's just bad over there. Alvin Kamara at some point's got to be thinking to himself, I got to get the hell out of here. Chris Olave, 10 receptions for 57 yards. I think it's a function of the quarterback. Kyler Murray couldn't seal the deal. The Niners find a way to win against Arizona. Those are 2 teams that kind of moving in different directions. The Niners are able to win with Mac Jones. Brock Purdy comes back soon. Probably not a serious injury, so they'll continue their winning ways. And then, bro, the Cowboys are trash, bro.
Dak Prescott is trash because the Cowboys' run game is surprisingly good. Who would have thought Javonte Williams would be averaging 100 yards a game?
Steve, what up, man?
What up, fellas?
Bro, talk to me. Week 3, man. What you got for me, bro?
Well, real quick, I wanted to touch on you were asking the question about Pittsburgh and Cleveland right now, and
That's the next week matchup, I think, Steve.
Right. Well, I'm a Steeler fan, but I'm pretty objective. I think Cleveland is playing better football right now. Like, I watch Pittsburgh. I pay attention to Cleveland.
What's up with the defense, Steve?
Dude, it's awful.
This is crazy to me. It's so unusual.
Like, today's victory, I mean, we've given up 30 points to the Seahawks and the Jets. We made Justin Fields look like an all-pro. And today, New England beats our ass if they don't gift wrap the game for us, having 2 red zone turnovers, actually in goal turnovers. That's 14 points right there. If New England protects the ball, we lose by double digits. So, like, it was a miracle we got those turnovers. You take those turnovers away, Pittsburgh's still giving up close to 30 points a game. And our offensive line's not playing that well. We're not going to have an answer for Myles Garrett.
Does anybody have an answer for Myles Garrett?
Well, no one does. He's the best defensive player in the league.
You're saying that over TJ, really, as a Steelers fan?
He just told you he's objective, man.
100%.
That's crazy.
100%. Well, you have to look at it this way. TJ is great at what he does. Like, he is an elite pass rusher. He can play the run well, but if we're gonna talk about like overall versatility and dominance, TJ is not Miles. Miles is different. Like,
who would be his comp? Steve, you've been watching football a long time. Who's the comp when it comes to that level of dominance as an edge rusher?
JJ Watt.
In compared to like TJ, who's TJ's comp?
No. Who is Miles' comp?
Oh, geez. From a versatility, like not just pass rushing, but just from a versatility standpoint, I would give him a comp like really a JJ Watt. He could play over the ball. He can play 3 technique. He can rush the passer. Like, he can play 2 technique. From a versatility, that's what JJ was. JJ did everything, and he was dominant at it, which I think Miles is.
JJ scored touchdowns.
Yeah, like JJ was just different. I mean, he was getting MVP comparisons as a defensive player. Like, he was that elite.
Yeah.
As far as like just pass rushing comp, man, I don't know. Like a Bruce Smith comes to mind.
Bruce Smith, Julius Peppers.
Yeah. See, this is where maybe I don't like. Yeah, that's a good one if we're just saying pass rush. Miles is so versatile, and he can play the run so well. Peppers was great at pass rushing. He was okay at playing the run. I just remember him being so dominant as a pass rusher. I would someone like Bruce Smith comes to mind when I think of Miles, where it's like this guy just affects the game in every way. And it's not to poo-poo Julius. Julius could do that, but he was just, when you think of Julius, you think of just elite pass rusher. Miles does everything.
Yeah, he does. Really nice player.
I mean,
he's been actually
versatile.
better this year than I've seen him before. So to me, this is the best version that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, and we're in what,
He's
year
30.
6, year 7? Like he's honest. I can't remember when he was drafted. What was that, like 2014, 2015?
2017. Miles?
2017. Okay.
Miles 2017.
So we're seeing him at around 30, and he's like at peak ability right now. That just doesn't happen much. I mean, that's pretty rare. Usually those miles take a toll, but he's a freak, bro. Like, pause. I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's like, just look at him. The dude is different. Like, you don't see guys
he's
like that.
Single-handedly keeping the Browns in football games.
Do you know how he's impactful? Like, it's not the same position. I mean, they're both defensive linemen, but they're different positions. He is as impactful and as dominant as Aaron Donald was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a different position.
You're talking about the impact.
Right.
The need to double, the need to chip, the need to keep a tight end on that side, like having all that attention.
Yes, and when you're an offensive coordinator, you scheme you identify a handful of guys. It's like, who do we have to scheme for? Aaron Donald was one of those guys. J.J. Watt was one of those guys. Myles Garrett is absolutely one of those guys where you have to account for him every play, and you're not going to get an assignment. You're not going to get an assignment where you just put one jersey on him. You're not going to get away with that. Maybe a play here and there, but.
So, Steve, how good could Cleveland be if they actually were able to somehow, some way, do this thing from getting their quarterback situation straightened out and them getting a legitimate wide receiver one? Like, me and Goon both believe Judy's a good number 2.
Right. At this stage, yeah, he's fine as a number 2. He's not a true number 1. I mean, I'll be honest. Those are 2 big asks, though, especially the quarterback situation. So it's like, hypothetically, yes, if you could find. I mean, I'm not dude. I'm not doing this as a jab. It is a sin. If I was a Browns fan, I would be so nauseous that you guys don't have Baker. Like, if y'all had Baker,
we're sick to our stomach, bro.
Like, if y'all had Baker,
he's in Tampa winning games every week, Steve.
Oh, bro. My cousin, who's a diehard Browns fan. Now, he grew up in Columbus. I grew up I remember we talked. I'm in the Steubenville area, so I'm closer to West Virginia and PA. So we're like closer to Pittsburgh. So everybody in this side of Ohio is usually a Pittsburgh fan. But he grew up in Columbus. He's a huge Brown. I was saying then, it's like, I get it. He's flashy. The highlight reel is great. But you do not want someone like him in your locker room when you have a young nucleus of Baker. At the time, it was Chubb. Like, you don't want, and Jarvis Landry was there. Now, I understand the appeal of bringing in Odell, but I've been saying this for a long time. I think the demise of the Baker situation was Odell came in and had this attitude where he was not getting the ball enough, and he was turning the locker room and Cleveland fans against Baker. Now, at the time, I get it. He's a flashy name. You want to bring in a receiver. It's never a bad idea. But, man, if Odell didn't start his bullshit in that locker room, I still think Baker's a Brown, and I think Baker's career would be different in Cleveland.
I never liked Odell. I never thought that the talent was worth all of the side effects.
You know, it's crazy as bro, and that's what's crazy about social media and going viral. That one-handed catch made him so famous that it really, like, it put him into this different stratosphere.
Other guys have done that, though.
Yeah, I
Since
agree.
then, other guys have done it. So how special was it?
I argued at the
Sneed, I
time.
gotta head out.
Listen,
I'll see you
man.
later, bro.
All right, go.
Yeah, bro. I was arguing at the time, like Eli's not as bad as Odell's trying to make him out to be. Now, Eli, yes, he was a gunslinger. He turned the ball over, and I understand you get frustrated, but it's like we watched Odell turn basically a fan base and a franchise against a two-time Super Bowl champion, their guy. And then he came to Cleveland and did the same thing. Everyone loved Baker when they drafted him. Everyone was on Team Baker because he had that moxie. He was like a gunslinger. He was, but he didn't put up big numbers in Cleveland, but they were going to the playoffs, man. They beat Pittsburgh's ass in a playoff game. So I don't know. I've always kind of thought, like, I know you posed the question. Yes, I think Cleveland would be a perennial playoff team if they could figure out the quarterback situation. They could find a receiver. If you could find the quarterback, you'll find receivers. Like they'll pop up. You can draft somebody, you can bring somebody in. The big thing with Cleveland is if they could figure out the quarterback situation, their defense is built right. And their offensive line is built right for the most part. But it's like, I don't know. Like, Joe's old. I get it. I don't know if you turn it over to a young guy and experiment with it right now. I don't know the answer. But
Footage is asking, is it time for a move where you kind of go in that direction? Like, is this a Shador moment? We're here in week 4 now, and you can clearly see that maybe Joe is not able to get the ball down the field, or is it a function of the receivers and the quarterback won't matter?
it's hard to say.
When things don't function well from the offensive standpoint, and it's a couple of things happening at the same time, you don't know what it really is per se.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's like, I think we're trying to play. If I break up for a second, I'm going through a tunnel, so it'll only be a second. But I feel like we're trying to assign blame. I don't know if you can hear me still.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Maybe not. Okay. Well, I feel like we're trying to assign blame where I think it's a multifaceted thing where it's like, yes, the receiver room has some culpability. The quarterback situation has some culpability. I don't know if you can just say it's a black and white, well, this is the problem. It's just the dysfunction and it's not that Joe can't win you some games, but we know it's not the long-term answer with this defense set up the way it is. I don't know. You're a Browns fan. Would you rather experiment with one of the younger guys? I don't know if Gabriel's healthy yet. Or experiment with Shador. I mean, I feel like you drafted these guys, you brought them in for a reason. You knew Joe wasn't the long-term answer. Might as well go for it in week 4 and see what you got. I mean, what do you have to lose, really?
I mean, you don't have anything to lose, but I feel like I would feel better about going with Joe, like, for the first 8 to 10 weeks if we had like a real number 1 option. Because then and then committing to the run game, like you saw that a little bit today with Judkins.
Yes,
I would feel better about Joe because I know he's going to take care of the football. You know, so, like, dude, Shador's going to throw picks.
He does hold on to the ball. As much as I know there's a lot of fanfare around him, I think you're being objective, and I think that's good because he is going to turn the ball over. He holds the ball too long.
And you know how I know that, Steve? Is because I watched him in the preseason make some great throws that in the regular season from starting NFL players, I think those are picks.
I was just going to say that. Where I think he had the one big preseason game. Yeah, he had the one good preseason game. But when we watch that, it's like, dude, these are not NFL starters. Are these windows going to be what they are when you are playing a starting NFL secondary? When you're playing drop coverage, like, these windows close a lot faster than they do in preseason? I know a lot of people were excited, and that's fine, but it's like we have to be objective here. Where I don't know on the Shador thing. Like, if you get, like you said, if you get to week 8 and you're seeing like, okay, we're plateauing, we're not really moving the needle at this point. We're over halfway through the season, or we're halfway through the season. Let's try something. then might be the right time. I think that's a fair assessment. But for right now, the way you guys are playing, I wouldn't pull Joe right this second. But it depends on how desperate you are. I guess that's what it comes down to. Like, how desperate is Cleveland to...
Isn't it more how desperate Stefanski is?
Well, that's fair too.
And
That's
I mean, I don't want his job to be on the line. I don't think he's been dealt a good hand.
Fair.
I think there's been some intervention and stepping on toes by ownership to do this quarterback thing. In my opinion, I think we have one of the worst owners in the league. And I think it was his decision to move on from Baker and gamble on Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
I think that was his call because he came out and said, I didn't draft Shador Sanders. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, you have a dysfunctional owner.
Right.
It doesn't surprise me that we're in this situation because I know what he did. He tried to jump the process. He tried to take a shortcut.
Yeah.
And he got played. And he paid heavily for that. That contract to Deshaun Watson is probably the worst in the history of the league.
It'd be hard to argue against that.
Okay, so you owe a ton of money.
Case.
He's not playing. He's been injured. And you are still without a true answer for your future at QB. And you've been basically set back with all these draft picks. You know, you're trying to compensate now, right? Like,
right.
Oh, we got to hit on this and we get a hit on that. Everything's a move of desperation.
Yeah.
You really have one cornerstone of your franchise, that's Myles Garrett. On the offensive side of the ball, you don't know what you have.
Yeah. I like, now I'm not saying he's the cornerstone such as like a Myles Garrett. I like the Judkins pick. When y'all took him in the second,
I think he's going to be a nice player. I think he's fine.
I think you have something.
But how they handled Nick Chubb was absolutely atrocious.
Yes, I would agree. But at the same time, it's tough when a running back's getting to that 30-year mark and you have the injuries he's had.
The only player on the Cleveland Browns better than Nick Chubb in the running back room would be Judkins. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And he had a legal issue to start the year. You didn't know what you were going to get.
That's also true.
He just got cleared like a week or two ago.
Right. I don't know, man. I feel the frustration as a Steeler fan because we've traditionally had a good defense, not this year, but traditionally we've had a defense. We haven't had this quarterback situation figured out since then.
They brought in players, though.
What's that?
They brought in players on the defensive side.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me is like
didn't they lock up Fitzpatrick?
Well, they dealt him back to Miami.
Oh, and they brought in
Ramsey. Smith. Yeah.
Is Jonnu Smith, is he contributing?
Yeah, he's on the field. I think grabbing him, if you're making that deal for Minka and Ramsey and you can get Jonnu Smith, yeah, I'll take it. Like, I'm very pro tight end.
You're a Pittsburgh guy, bro. You've always had good tight ends.
And we have Fairmouth, so it's like you can match up two tight ends. We still have that Washington from Georgia, who's an absolute monster of a human being. So it's like you got your blocking tight ends, you got two receiving tight ends. I like bringing him in that package where, you know, you bring in a Ramsey, you bring in a Jonnu Smith, where you kind of cut bait with Minka, who's great, but he's also injured all the time.
Yeah, I think he missed about half the games for Pittsburgh.
Basically, like the time he spent in Pittsburgh, it was always marked. He was missing a week here, missing 3 weeks here, missing 2 weeks here. And it's nothing against him. The guy plays reckless abandon. That's what you want from your safety.
But he's also slight build. It's not like he's a thumper, you know.
No, he's not built for that. He's not one of those type of safety. But he plays that way, which is great. But at the same time, it's like, how long can you last? I didn't mind the deal with Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. I thought it was okay. The problem is, it's like the guys they brought on defense, man, we're not stopping the run. We're like, our pass coverages are all, it's like nobody's on the same page. When a team wants to go 2-minute offense, they're going to drive down, like, without question. Dude, we've given up. We made Justin Fields look like an all-pro quarterback.
Which he's not.
And it's sad. It's like you gave up 30 points to them. You give up 30 points to the Seahawks. And Darnold isn't bad, but it's like, man, at home against the Seahawks, you let them go up and down the field. Honestly, today, we let Drake May and the Pats go up and down the field. If it wasn't for those 2 red zone or goal line turnovers, we lose, and they score close to 30 points. So I don't know. I don't have long-term optimism for the season, and I think, the question you asked earlier, Cleveland's playing better ball than Pittsburgh. Our record is 2-1, but Cleveland is playing better ball.
All bets are off when you get the divisional games.
For sure.
Pittsburgh could play their best game of the year on Sunday.
It's true.
The Browns defense could have a letdown. The offense could be, scoring or something crazy. I don't know. Weird things happen on Sundays, man.
For sure. But listen, brother, I have to hop off. I'm just about to walk into work.
All right, Steve.
Thanks for putting me on, brother. I appreciate you.
Anytime, man. It was good to have you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good stuff here from Steve, man. King of the chat. He's the king of our chat, too, man. All right, Brucey, tap in, man. Tap in. Browns pull off a big win. They beat the Packers. I kind of wish Transformer was here. I think we could get his raw, candid, and transparent take on the win. I think he's probably disappointed in his Packers. I think he's probably disappointed in the 14 penalties and the way that the second half played out. They weren't able to score. They weren't able to, to take care of the ball. They had a huge turnover that got the Browns back into it. They turned it into points, and then they got the blocked field goal, which was absolutely incredible. And, shout out to the, I think, 3 games that were decided by blocked field goals, in this week 3. It was just crazy. I saw the Philadelphia Eagles game had one. I saw I think it was the Buccaneers game had one, and then obviously the Browns game. Was there another one? There may have been 3 or 4. But, yeah, like you said, man, any given Sunday, absolutely. I know the Packers were heavily favorited. I thought the Titans would have had a better showing than they did. They got the, crap beat out of them. So the Falcons looked really, really bad. The Titans looked bad. I think did the Jags win today as well? Cowboys look like shit. Their defense is just terrible. What else? What else did we learn today? Chargers won a tough divisional game against the Broncos. The Commanders found a way to win against the Raiders with Jaden Daniels being out. That's huge. Eagles continue to be undefeated. They're 3-0. Texans, it's just bad over there, man. 0-3. And then, of course, we still got a couple of games for the rest of the week. You got the Chiefs versus the Giants going on right now. The Chiefs are up 3-0 on a 55-yard field goal from Butker. And then we got the Lions visiting the Ravens tomorrow. I know the Ravens are favorites, but I really do think that the Lions could upset the Ravens, man. And as really, offensively, as great as the Ravens are, I don't know, man. The Lions are just as dangerous offensively. I think there's going to be a lot of points in that game if the Ravens defense continues to be leaky. So in my opinion, Bruce, I think you have a tough task on your hands tomorrow. I'm not questioning Lamar. I'm not questioning Zay Flowers. I'm not questioning Derrick Henry. I do think that the Ravens are going to score points. I just don't know if they have the defense to keep the Lions from finding their way into pay dirt. I think the Lions, I think J-Mo is going to crush them tomorrow. I think he's going to get loose for a couple, man. I really do. I think he's going to make problems. I think the Lions find a way to win tomorrow against the Ravens in Baltimore. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And if it ends up being one of those close ones and the Ravens lose, I mean, there's going to be some serious conversations about Lamar, about John Harbaugh, about the Baltimore Ravens, including the defense. People are going to be talking. They're going to say, you lost to the Lions, you lost to the Bills, and kind of like the Browns kind of self-imploding offensively last week. As good as the offense for the Ravens are, where's that defense at? You know what, Woodage? I would like to think that the Chiefs are going to win this game. I don't think that the Chiefs are going to lose 3 in a row to open the season. I really don't. I think that they probably feel some urgency to win. And Mahomes is pretty damn impressive. He's a great quarterback. I don't think he's going to lose tonight. I don't think the Giants are good enough to hand the Chiefs their 3rd straight loss to open the season. I don't. If this was a game against the Eagles, if this was a game against the Packers, if this was a game against the Ravens, then maybe. But the Giants, bro, with Russell Wilson, Russell Sierra or whatever her name is, like, come on, bro. Anyways, I really just wanted to do this stream for about an hour. I think that's good for now. I think we covered everything that happened so far. We're definitely going to do another stream. I'll be over on the Format Podcast talking these games soon. I'm sure Bruce is going to want to cover some more of this stuff and do more so in detail. But the Browns have a really solid defense. We learned that today. If you didn't learn it last week or the week before, they continue to get better. Their offense is inept. They got to figure those things out. Maybe with Judkins, they can get a little more dynamic, right? What else did we learn this week? The Cowboys are trash. If you thought they were good, think again. Let's see here. The Bengals season is through if Joe Burrow is not the quarterback. They don't have an answer. I also think the Packers are going to be fine. Let's call it a down week. I think they bounce back next week. They'll be fine. The Colts look really good. They're playing really good football, and their quarterback play right now, it seems like they made the right decision at the right time. Eagles continue to win. I know they don't look great, but they're still the defending Super Bowl champs. They returned most of their players, and they have Jalen Hurts and a good defense and dominant offensive and defensive lines. So they're still in that conversation. The Commanders winning without their starting quarterback who is out with an injury is big. Baker Mayfield, another comeback victory. Steelers get past the Patriots. Maybe not a great way of looking the optics, but they found a way to be 2-1 as they take a divisional foe next week versus Cleveland. Chargers, Justin Herbert continues to win, leading his team to victory. The Saints are absolute trash. The Seahawks crushed them. Niners, I guess the best in that division, if that matters. And, we still got to wait to see what the Lions and the Ravens looks like tomorrow. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Woodage. Shout out to Bruiser Sue. Appreciate you, Bruce. Steve for tapping in. Goon, appreciate you guys. If you guys like these kind of lives where you get to call in and tap in and discuss football, we could definitely do more of these. Let me know in the comments. And, you could definitely be a part of the show. Just look forward to the next stream. You guys will be notified as long as you turn on the bell. And then if you're new here first time, go ahead and subscribe and rate this video for us and share it with all your friends. Let them know about the SMT Media Network Sports Podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.